Sales Forecasting Strategy in CapSim Simulations, a step-by-step practical guide. Adult School. Hello and welcome to today's session on one of the most essential yet misunderstood components of strategic business simulations, sales forecasting. Whether you're a student, a business professional, or a participant in CapSim simulations, mastering the art of forecasting can give you a serious edge. In this lecture, we'll take you step by step through how to accurately forecast unit sales using real simulation data, including industry demand, growth rates, market share predictions, and strategic adjustments. Let's begin. Section 1. Why forecasting matters. Forecasting is not just a numbers game, it's a strategic imperative. Producing too little leads to stockouts and missed sales. Producing too much ties up your working capital, risks high inventory carrying costs, and worst of all, emergency loans. In competitive simulations like CapSim, these mistakes can significantly set you back. Objective: by the end of this session, you will be able to read and interpret fast track or courier reports, calculate future demand and market share, forecast production units with buffer strategies, adjust for new product launches and competitive activity, link forecasting to capacity and finance decisions. Let's start by looking at the data. Section 2. Understanding your current performance. Imagine we're part of Team Andrews. We've just completed a simulation round and now we're preparing for the next one. In our fast track report, we notice some important numbers. For instance, our low-tech product, let's call it Able, sold 1,716 units last round. That's helpful, but not the full story. What matters more is what the simulation model predicts for next round, especially your market share projection, industry demand, growth, product characteristics, age, MTBF, performance, size, price positioning. When we examine the fast track report, let's say we're told that Able is expected to capture only 14.3% of the low-tech market next round, down from 15.9% previously. That's a red flag, and it's your cue to take action. Section 3. Projecting industry demand. Here's the simple forecasting formula we use in CapSim. Projected industry demand equals current demand times 1 plus growth rate. Let's break it down with a practical example. Last round, the total demand in the low-tech market was 10,804 units. The report tells us the segment is growing at 10% annually. So we multiply 10,804 times 1.10 is equal to 11,884 units projected for next year. This tells us the entire low-tech segment will demand 11,884 units in the upcoming round. Triangular ruler. Section 4. Estimating your market share. Next, we calculate our expected share of that demand. Let's say the computer estimates that Able will have a 14.3% market share. So, 11,884 times 0.143 is equal to 1,700.36 is almost equal to 1,700 units. That is your initial forecast. But that's not the end. This forecast assumes optimal product positioning, age, reliability, price, size, and awareness. If any of these are lagging, your actual sales may be lower. So let's add a strategic buffer. Section 5. Strategic buffering. Stockouts versus leftovers. When in doubt, always err slightly on the side of overproduction. Stockouts hurt more than leftovers. You might round up your forecast to 1,705 or 1,710 units. Adding a buffer of 5 to 10 units allows for unexpected demand or minor errors in forecasting. Why not much more? Because large surpluses tie up capital and could result in price cuts later just to move excess inventory. Light bulb quick tip: in early rounds, a plus or minus 5% buffer is generally safe. In later rounds, as your forecast accuracy improves, you may go as low as plus or minus 2%. Magnifying glass. Tilted left. Section 6. Applying the same process for high-tech. Let's now turn to high-tech. The same methodology applies, but the numbers are different. Current high-tech market demand, 9,288 units. Growth rate, 20%. So, expected demand next round, 9,288 times 1.20 is equal to 11,145.6 is almost equal to 11,146 units. Now let's say our product Amoeba is expected to take 11.7% market share. 11,146 times 0.117 is equal to 1,304 units, so we'll plan to produce 1,304 units, possibly rounding to 1,310. Why is this important? Well, in the last round, we might have produced only 1,000 units and sold out. That's 300 plus units of missed revenue and a loss of potential market share. Section 7. Capacity alignment. Here's where forecasting meets production planning. Suppose we've forecasted 1,700 units for Able, but our plant capacity is only 1,500. You have three choices. 1. Increase capacity in the production module. 2. Use overtime, which increases labor cost by 50%. 3. Adjust automation or shift workforce accordingly. In CapSim, it's often better to gradually increase capacity, say 10% annually for low tech and up to 20% for high tech, if you expect market growth. Capacity planning rule of thumb: low tech, increase by 10% if market grows 10%. High tech, increase by 20% if market grows 20%. Section 8. New product launches and forecasting. Let's add a twist. What if a new product is being launched? You'll notice this in the Fast Track report when a new revision date appears but without sales history. This is usually a high-tech product, and here's what you do: count how many high-tech products currently exist, say 10. A new product would raise that to 11. Now, with total market demand of 11,146 units and 11 products, the average share per product might be around 1,013 units. But here's the nuance: not all products are equal. If your product has better accessibility, awareness, price, or reliability, you may exceed the average. Also, if that new product has only 460 units of capacity, it won't realistically sell 1,000 units in 1 year. That means there's slack in the market you can capitalize on. Advanced tip: check competitors' plant capacity. If their new product cannot meet demand, that gap becomes your opportunity. Section 9. Iteration and adjustment. Forecasting is not a one-time event, it's iterative. Each round, revisit growth rates, market share shifts, competitive positioning, launches or discontinuations. Ask yourself, did we stock out? Were we left with surplus inventory? Were our predictions aligned with reality? If yes, great, tighten your buffer. If not, re-examine your assumptions. Section 10. A practical forecasting checklist. Let's close this session with a checklist you can apply before every round. White heavy checkmark. Step 1. Open Fast Track/Courier and locate current segment demand. White heavy checkmark. Step 2. Multiply demand by growth rate. Low tech, 10%, high tech, 20%, white heavy checkmark. Step 3. Review projected market share for each product. White heavy checkmark. Step 4. Multiply total demand by your projected market share. White heavy checkmark. Step 5. Round up slightly to avoid stockouts. White heavy checkmark. Step 6. Check plant capacity, match or adjust accordingly. White heavy checkmark. Step 7. Watch for new products and redistribute market share accordingly. White heavy checkmark. Step 8. Add a 2 to 5% buffer based on risk tolerance. White heavy checkmark. Step 9. Align production and finance modules. White heavy checkmark. Step 10. Review results next round and refine. Final thoughts. In CapSim, forecasting is not only about math, it's about strategic thinking. It's the bridge between your marketing, production, and finance decisions. Once you master the art of forecasting, you reduce risks, increase profits, and stay ahead of the competition. Use your Fast Track report as a predictive tool, not just a history book. Let it guide your decision-making round after round. Thank you for joining today's session. I hope this practical guide empowers you to make smarter decisions in your simulations. Fastest support to get top results. $9.99 for CapSim. Email behelp2002@gmail.com. Blog https://capsimguide2021.blogspot.com. Free Excel file for all 8 rounds. Download from blog or send the email. Online quick support Q&A equals WhatsApp equals https://bit.ly/3silp9u whole game support equals $50 for 8 rounds equals top results. I'll see you in the next strategy session. Don't forget, forecast smart, win big.